they were the winner of the Sun Tzu Cup, and based purely on their ability to strategize against the opponent. So I'm quite excited to see what Hooplah can whip up in this tournament. See if we can have a repeat. Now, I do have the Minecraft mods on for the boars. I'm still not sure. I'm unsure about them, but I like mods. So we've got Minecraft boars. Anyway, the map we are on is Highlands as well. So, as you can see, you've got a little bit of fish in the middle. So, you could possibly dock this. Whether or not they do, obviously, is completely up to them. Now, the thing, at least about docking, is you'll be able to kind of go over if this middle does end up getting very congested. Castigo now pulling in the boar. Brave going into a TC. I can't do that. It stresses me out too much. I'll kill the boar. My game's over. It's GG. So, hat off to Castigo. Getting that lumber camp out. Pushing some deer. I like it. I like it. So you can see there's a fair bit of food on the map. You've got the deer. You've got berries. You've got 2 boar. You've got the piggies around as well. We've got a fair bit happening, and obviously the fish in the middle too. Now, I haven't played a lot of this map personally, but just looking at it and seeing from other players playing it as well, a big thing that you're going to want to do, obviously, depending on... Oh, here we go. We have a veal coming into the middle. Now, is that going to wall or is that going to be snuck across? That's what I want to know. Hopefully, we're going to see some aggression. Ooh, I like that. So that's an aggressive wall. So you kind of own the middle. So instead of letting your opponent kind of have that wall. It's like, no, I'm going to wall here. Oh, no, veal, pathing, something. So I like the forward wall, but what I'd love to see a bit of aggression. Wall this and then even go a bit forward as well. Taking in the second ball now is Castigo. Oh, we hear someone getting housed. Castigo being housed. Loom coming in for Castigo with being housed. And reduce that idle TC time. Alright. And Hooplah now taking the second ball, and that's great. That's really well timed. So that pig has ceased to exist. Yeah, has gone to the berries. So fairly even so far. Idle eco time a little bit more for Castigo. Idle TC time somewhat similar, really. Nothing too crazy at the moment. Pushing in the deer as well. So we're going to see a fair bit of food. A bit of a food spike for Castigo. Whether or not it's an early up or not, I'm not too sure. And we are seeing a dock from Hooplah. I do rate that quite highly. How many do we have on wood? We have 4 on wood. Might want to pump it up a little bit more, maybe. Perhaps. And there we go. Taking in the second ball is Hooplah.
Presto.
Rally point slightly off. I do that every day. And even Hooplah trying to take some HP with the ball. Ooh, Hooplah Scout doing a bit of work there. Castigo's TC does manage to get out. So a little bit of idle eco time there from Castigo now. But being able to take that much health, HP out of... Oh, he didn't get the pigs. No. Okay, so Hooplah's not going to find them. Cheeky. It looks like Castigo has actually scouted them, just hasn't collected them. Sees that now. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm going to see some fishing ships now from Hooplah. Now give me 1 second, stream. I am going to change something slightly. My back end. Alright, there we go. We just had a double up of sound, so we've fixed that now. We're back onto it. Alrighty.
Salve.
So now we're having about 6 on for Hooplah. Both players have now clicked up. Castigo is 1 minute 30 to feudal age, and Hooplah looking at about 150-ish, so it looks like there's roughly 20 seconds between the players, maybe a bit more, 25, 30. And Castigo's trying to hunt down the scout. Now, that reveal didn't go over. We didn't see that aggressive move from Hooplah. I do know Hooplah, as a player, tends to play a little bit more defensive. Does prefer kind of forcing making the opponent engage you. Engage him, rather. So then they can retaliate in response to what you bring to the table. So, quite excited to see how Hooplah goes here. Now we do have 25 to 22, and that's purely because of the fishing ships that we see that higher eco count from Hooplah, and that food income is going to be absolutely amazing. Now we've got 4 fishing ships as well. Alright, Castigo is up and is getting the archery range down. Now in terms of the scouting, has seen the wall, but mustn't be worrying them too much. I mean, if you do even send a couple of viewers, get the scout, get the archers out, you will be able to knock that down somewhat easily. But my question now is, with this reveal, is there going to be a stone wall? Because that is pretty much going to stop any type of push in Feudal Age. Especially without a dock, you're not going to be able to transport over either. There's peace in the land. Some archers now being queued up from Castigo. Hooplah's also here at Feudal. I do see the market. The gold now. Looks like there's just a little bit of a delay. We don't have enough food just yet to be able to get the blacksmith. Sorry, wood. There we go. Blacksmith now being built. It's maybe not the smoothest build, but I feel like we've all been there. Okay, so Castigo's just letting him know, like, hey, I'm going to bust down this wall. But we're not seeing any stone walls. So maybe Hooplah would prefer to just save the stone. Be able to get a bit of a boom happening. I'm not too sure. But we've already got the lead with the fish. Oh, we see the fire galley. Okay. Okay. That's going to be quite an effective way to be able to push back the scout. Now, I don't know. I wonder if Hooplah can see. We see the archer's now going to be able to kind of cause a little bit of a headache. Now, if you're now coming back, it looks like it's long distancing some more fish. Salve. There's 10 food in there. We are getting fletching now from Castigo. Do we still have the one archery range? We still have the one. We do have the blacksmith, obviously, researching fletching. So hasn't gone too all in here. Having a fair bit on gold as well. We have decent amount on wood. Probably want to start slapping down a few more farms, but almost has the res to click up. So it does have the 2 buildings, so they are going to be able to click up to Castle Age. Hooplah is already on the way. Now, because we haven't seen the stone walls, I'm quite interested to see what Hooplah is preparing at home. Do we have any military buildings? Is there any type of inclination as to what Hooplah is going for? At the moment, I can't really pick it because we're just going to be producing another galley at the moment. So I think that's going to be the play. Is it a stone or another palisade? So I just want to delay them a little bit more. Would have liked it maybe to have seen that just a little bit sooner, but that's okay. We are going double dock as well now from Hooplah, and that is huge. You've got no pressure at all in all that food. There's so much food in each of those ponds. So now the galley at least is going to be able to range the archers a little bit more effectively, probably a little bit better to try and counter them. Hooplah's 30 seconds away. Castigo's just clicked up. So there's about a 2-minute difference between them to Castle Age. Now, I still think Hooplah is just going to focus on booming. Berries are now done. Getting some eco upgrades. Hooplah hasn't got the farming upgrades, but obviously is on fish. So I don't really think that's their primary concern, is farms. And we do see the extra TC being slapped down. It has defended that middle quite well. Just the palisades, and now you do have the stone. It would look like we're getting another TC, unless 100 was sold. 100 must have been sold. Alrighty. We're seeing a little bit more galleys now. It's let's go check out Castigo. What's happening, Castigo? Castigo now must be quite concerned about that early click up, thinking something is going to come. Now let's have a look at what they can see though. So that's the hard part, because you haven't really scattered your opponent at all. You can see the dock, you know they're on water, but you must be thinking, is there a landing? Is something coming? That early click up as well. With the Byzantines, it's such a versatile civilization as well. They can do so much. They can still go into cavalry, but the Mongols themselves, such a strong civ. And we also see Castigo on stone, so maybe we could see some unique units. See the Mengadai, it's quite common for Mongols, such a powerful unit. But in saying that, ooh, you see 2 TC. Okay, so it looks like both players are going to focus a little bit more on booming, which could be interesting. But I mean, just a 2 TC, but then we also have the 2 dock. So probably why Hooplah hasn't gone 3 TC, just because of having water. They're kind of treating that like a dock itself. Obviously, instead of food, it's going to be more wood-based. So I really like the eco balance here from Hooplah. At the moment, looks like they're doing quite well being able to manage it all. He's going to now start taking some deer as well, and we are seeing the next TC. So the 3rd town centre will come up, but they've been on 2 TCs for a lot longer. A monastery, so we're either going to see some monks from, I think they must be expecting cavalry. Castigo must be thinking that some cavalry is coming in. He's going to be walling up the flanks as well. Obviously still open here a bit. Looks like that is a hole there. I mean, if you were going to raid, you could still raid through here, but at least they won't be able to escape as easily too. And the good thing about having the walls within range of the town centres is even if you're trying to raid through here, you're not going to be able to escape, and that's just going to mean more town centre fire as well. So, and we do have fletching as well, so that's going to be doing a little bit more damage than without. No duh. And it's still quite peaceful. It looks like both players are just kind of focusing on the boom. So that's going to mean we're going to probably push into more of an imperial battle. Now, what do we think, chat? What do we think these players are thinking at this point in time? What is Hooplah's strategy? We haven't really seen any military buildings. We haven't seen any upgrades just yet. Obviously, the only thing with Byzantines, they don't get bloodlines. So the cavalry isn't amazing. But they do get cheap camel. They do get cheap pike. They do get cheap skirm. They get some really good cheap trash as well. It's like, oh, we're going to try and convert some ships. I do like it. Thinking outside the box, but you've got to be really careful, because they can still range that. Nice, very nice, very nice. But it's going to be a lot of micro involved here. It's going to be enough to push them back. The only thing with this, I don't think it's... Look, I think it's a good trade if you can pull it off. It's just to keep the opponent guessing at least. Ooh, see, now you've just lost 100 gold though. That is the hard part. That is the difficult part in this. Sorry, just fiddling around some back-end things. Alright. Yeah, we're seeing heavy plow come in. Obviously, not having anyone on water is having to invest in those eco upgrades, where you can see with Hooplah only getting Bowsaw now as well. We're going to get it, and we are not going to get the conversion. Would be good to see if we can get the conversion. I think it could cause a bit of damage to the opponent. Probably just more of a nuisance than anything. I'm going to see now 3 docks from Hooplah. And that monk does get picked off again. How much stone do we have? 300. We've got 900 gold, 450. I think both players are just thinking about trying to get into... Not the third monk. Not the third monk. And we do get a conversion. There we go. Excellent. Nice. So at least possibly now just scouting around, seeing what's what. I do like that. Don't try and take the fight. Just scout. Great. Great strategy. Great strategy. Get a bit of scouting in, because you're kind of lacking that scouting at the moment. Get a better idea of if they are loading up, if you can see anything on the edge of the map, if you can see it in the military buildings. At the moment, obviously, you're not going to see anything. Oh, I do like the castle now. And we're going to see some monks as well from Hooplah, I'm assuming. But maybe they're just to collect the relics. Now... The only thing with Castigo, we did make some monks, but none of them went and actually got the relics, unfortunately. Well, there's one relic? One relic. Is there one relic each side on this map? Can't see anything anything more. So it looks like there's just one relic each. Castigo looks like they're going to be getting up a bit earlier. He's getting hand cut. Hooplah does have wheelbarrow. So look, it looks pretty neck and neck. We still do have heavy player coming in from Hooplah as well. So those farms are going to be quite good farms. And you've got the fishing bonus. So I am going to be quite scared of their imp. And it looks like they've just got the res. Expect them to click up any moment. One relic each side and a relic in the middle. Thank you, C7. Only one building. No. Disaster. We do get to click up. So Castigo had the res for a while, but just wasn't able to click up. Get slapped down a university. Oof. That's tough. Because now Hooplah is actually in the lead for imp. He had the second building, does get that relic as well. Okay, so we have the monastery is more for the relics. I'm getting our first barracks down. We've got the castle as well. At the moment, it does look like, and we are getting the other relic. Excellent, well done. We do love to see it. Getting university, some more fishing ships. Score obviously favouring Hooplah at the moment. I think that's mainly just from the fishing because we haven't seen any battles just yet. Both players preferring to go a bit more of a boom. I think that is the play on this map, to be honest. Just especially for Castigo, has been walled out, doesn't have any dock, doesn't have any water control. So trying to make the dock transport over. It's a little bit. I don't feel like it's too little, too late if he had done it in castle, but obviously right now. That's quite well beyond. Now the only thing is we are going to get castle. Good. Protecting 2 gold. Protecting a flank. I like it. I like it. Maybe even the next one we could see it over here. But depends. They're quite bottlenecked. That's the only thing. You look at Hooplah. Look how much space Hooplah has. Castigo's kind of bottlenecked himself in a fair bit. I do like the gate. A bit of more mobility involved here. And we're getting some elite skirm upgrade, getting the archer upgrade, getting war galley, imperial ages just hit. Looks like we're going for cheap skirm. And to be honest, I do love that because what do Mongols love to do? They love to go their unique unit, Mangudai. We're going to see a bit more of an aggressive castle here. Hooper's going to try and just slowly get more map control and push through here. Now I feel like this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. We're finally going to see some action. These players now are gearing up, getting ready. Now the only thing with Castigo, we don't really see any military buildings. I don't really know what they think. We are going to see Bracer come through, so we're going to see some type of archer line. I'm assuming Mangudai, right? We do have some Mangudai queued up. But against the war galleys, against the skirm, it looks like Hooplah is going to be sending these forward, sending Trebs in as well, knowing that they do have just the advantage over the opponent, and they are going to start pushing. Treb coming through, doing a bit of work to the TC. Desperate attempt to try and get more stone, but we're trying to get more castle, especially if you're taking into the elite Mangudai. I'm not 100% sure about this. I do feel like you get some decent cavalry as the Mongols. Trying to put a bit of pressure on with some cavalry, obviously could clean this up. But saying that you don't know what the opponent's going to make until they make it, right? So it's very easy for us to say a little bit of congestion here because of the palisades. But they are going to be sent through now. Does take out that first TC. Is getting chemistry. Chemistry coming in for Hooplah as well. We're getting thumb ring. We're getting conscription. We're getting the ring archer armor. We already have bracer. So these are going to be some fully upgraded elite skirmishers. And we're also going to get some heavy camel riders. So is already thinking about the... Hooplah is already thinking about the counter and he's kind of prepping for that, for the just in case. Now attempting to take down the next TC. Parthian tactics, getting everything that they can for Mangadai. But still, only a couple of Mangadai here ready to go. No other military. The opponent's knocking on the door. Does have enough stone for a castle now. And Hoopla just going the slow and steady approach. Not being impatient, not trying to turn the gas on, put the throttle down too hard, not going to be pushing them too much, preferring to stay conservative, having the trebs underneath the castles for both. So they've taken out now 3 TCs, I believe, just from 2 castle ranges. That's huge. It's so hard to be able to take that out. And now the skirm still staying nearby, picking off a fair few vills. Now we have 91 vills to 108 for Hoopla. He's going to get in farms. Now the only thing, obviously, skirms just don't really kill that effectively. In this mass they kind of do. But see, perfect timing for the camels. So not going to be able to clean up the skirm. The cheap Byzantine camel is going to come through and be able to clean up that light cav quite easily. A few vills now going down here. We're down to 84 vills. The trebs are going to now take down the next TC. And the castle coming out here. I mean, you're kind of protecting it. You're protecting a few of the buildings. You're protecting the flank. But I suppose at this point in time, where else would you put it? You could put it here. Maybe I'd like to see that, but that's already in range of the trebs too. So kind of forced to put the castle, just more so to make some military though. The Mangadai coming in, and they're not going to really be able to take on skirm with a direct counter. If we had a little bit more army, this could have been a slightly better engagement. But I just think that the camels just came in and dealt with that magnificently from Hoopla. And we are getting a little bit more military production now, but here we go. Here are the camels. The cavalry's here. And are they going to get it? No. So it doesn't quite get the treb. If we zoom out a little bit and have a look around. Now it's pushed through, has lost all those farms, is down to 55 vills, and there we have it. GG Cord, GG, well played from Castigo, and that is game 1. Now the patience there, as Crazy Joe said, from Hoopla was magnificent. Just knowing how to approach that game so well, not forcing the issue, and making sure that they could punish the opponent for the later uptime as well. Booming, having water as well. But the biggest thing there that would have been really hard for Castigo to stop there was just that slow and steady pressure. Just putting on enough pressure to be able to make the push, and also dropping that castle right next to the TCs, so then they could treb them all down. So really great play from Castigo. I'm not too sure on both of these players' experience on this map as well. Obviously that's going to come into it a fair bit as well. I did really like that castle. I think we had to get this castle down a little bit sooner to get more Mangadai, but also getting him a bit more light cav too, obviously, is going to be crucial there to try and deal with the skirm a little bit sooner, I suppose. Maybe you've seen that you've lost the middle, so maybe even you wall up here just to ensure that your opponent's not going to come through. The hard part with that, I suppose, you don't know if they're going to go aggressive, so maybe that's where you could have gone, even just slapped out an outpost here and there, just to be able to see if your opponent is going to come through. Don't mind the walls. I think they ended up bottlenecking us just a little bit, but that is game 1, maybe just some game 1 jitters. I'm very excited to see game 2 now, because Castigo is going to choose the map. Alrighty. Let's head on to the next game. Before I forget, there we go. Alright, Age of Empires 2 return. So what do we think of game 1, everyone? What do we think of the map? So remember, that as well was quite an even game. That was actually, there was one. I did forget at the start of this, we actually haven't had a look at either players' draft. There was something I forgot. I knew it. Okay, that's okay. We can get that up now. Okay, now we go here, we go there. Go click on to here, the draft. Alrighty. Alright, so we won't go through the whole draft process, but we'll have a look at what civs that we have next, okay? So, we'll pull this up. Alrighty, everyone. So, that was game one. Very exciting to see both players go at it in the David vs. Goliath 20. So, we had Mongols here from Castigo. That was their first pick, but unfortunately wasn't able to get the job done with them on the neutral map. I do probably like that choice though. I mean, considering everything else that we have on there, what else could we have gone? I mean, it's not really going to be that crazy of a water map to go Vikings. I mean, Saracens are always good. Berbers maybe a little bit better on open maps. Romans, I need to look more into Romans, to be honest. I don't know the civ that well. We need to have a look at exactly what they're best at. I know obviously infantry is a big one, and I think siege, from if I'm not familiar. Chat, if you know a little bit more, please tell us, educate me. And we've got Italians, Byzantines, Turks, Poles, Portuguese, Spanish from Hooplah. So we've got some interesting choices. So looks like both players have done a little bit of research. So Magyar's getting banned here from Hooplah. Very strong open map civilization, and Ethiopians too. So one of the best cav civs and one of the best arch civs being banned here. Interesting, interesting. Hooplah says Romans are infantry and scorpions. Romans are super strong. Interesting. I'm very excited to see them get used in this tournament. All the players have agreed that they're happy for everyone to select Romans. So we're going to see what kind of happens with them. See if we get anyone choosing them is what I'm very interested in to see. Okay. Now, before I forget, we had Byzantines from Hooplah, and that was a win. So I'll put that on the draft. Beautiful. Rumor has it they died a bombard cannon with micro. Who has micro up in here though? All right, so here we go. Game 2 of Castigo vs Hooplah. It's going to be on Land Madness, so it is more of an open map. Castigo preferring to maybe put on a little bit more early pressure here. So let's see how these players go. I did not select thing though. Spectate with capture age. Alright, and we're back on. Let me change the scene for 1 second. Alright, here we go. Alright, so, for those of you that don't know, Land Madness is a very open map. Very, very open map. If you remember, a while ago, I was in something called Kings League, and this was my home map. I loved it. It was really fun. The reason I like it so much is just because of how open it is, but it's still a little bit more obscure. There's a lot of berries around, so fantastic if you're Franks, but we don't have Franks. We've got Hindustanis, very great, cheap Vil, and good cavalry slash, or not really cavalry because it's not a full stable civilization, but great camels. Really, really good camels. Best camels in the game. And we've also got Huns. Oof. Huns from Castigo. No houses. Some good cavalry. Combat still in chat. I know that's his favourite civ. If he's not, then he's missing out. Ooh, tried to get the lure in, but didn't quite work. Oh, go back, go back, go back. Oof. That's right. So for this one, on this map as well, you actually only get one boar from memory, but you get a berry bush instead. Still not as much food though as the boar. The boar is just so much more food. Get some sheepers, get some deer. You see, we're just waiting. Oh, unlucky Castigo with the push and the lure. Not an amazing start, but not a terrible start by any means. Just one of those annoying starts, you know, when it doesn't quite go smoothly. That's what I feel like Castigo is having at the moment. Alright, and we're going to TC the boar. There we go. Excellent. That was really well done. I wish I could do that without killing the boar, but I'll kill it every single damn time. Alright. So Hooplah getting a few more vills out. I mean, there's only 4 seconds idle TC time there from Castigo. So, yes, from Castigo. Maybe pushing in more deer. They did push in deer last game as well. So, look, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to predict that Castigo is going to go into more cavalry. Going to see some scouts. Possibly. Don't know, but let's see. Especially going to be pushing in deer. I think that would be an amazing thing to do. Saving a bit of wood from not having to do houses as well for the Huns player. We also Hooplah seeing now going to be pushing some deer as well. So a little bit leftover food there is going to send... No, we're going to leave it. Now the board does decay very quickly, so there's probably no point in going back there to finish it off either. We're going to see now the mill kind of be pushed out a little bit. We haven't actually taken those berries, but we're going to try and take some deer over here from Hooplah. You do have the berries a little bit far away. I don't know. Maybe you could have gone here. I don't think they've actually scouted that. No, they haven't. Okay. That's unfortunate. It's always hard. I feel like as a caster, you can always say, oh, you got to scout more, but like, why are you going to scout like the extra tiles? You're just not going to. It's not going to happen. Not in every single scenario. Alright, it looks like they're going to take all the deer on this. Castigo has already taken all the deer. Has got the sheep. Getting loom. Now we're on 19 pop. So it looks like we're going to be doing 19 pop scout. That's my theory. That's not confirmed. But I mean, like, you got it, right? You got it. You got it. Scouting them out. Oh, putting a little bit of pressure on, saying, hey, I see you. Does Hooplah have loom yet? They do not. Let me get one bill. They do not. So there's no loom, but the scout's going to come in as a bit of backup. Has taken a little bit of hits there. So unless you get on that hill bonus, getting Hooplah to attack uphill, definitely don't engage in this. But Hooplah, have they scouted out the opposition? No. So, see what I mean? Hooplah definitely a bit more defensive player. I think their mindset isn't this, is to be a bit more conservative, like we saw with that slow progressive push. So, let's see if Castigo can capitalize on that with some early aggression. Because Hooplah still hasn't clicked up. Does have the res. Not clicking up. Going to go to the next lumber camp. Now, the hard part with the lumber camps too. So, if you can see the kind of little stony area here, you actually can't wall on that. So, you're going to have to be really small. Do some really small walls in here to be able to protect your wood choppers. So, that's why early aggression on this map can be so effective. Alrighty, we've got some deer in here. Now Hooplah's going to be pushing through to the other side. We already got the barracks and now we've got the stable. Excellent, you love to see it. We've got a fair bit on wood. I think that's just been taken over because we're not really floating a lot of wood. So I think Castigo's just sent that over. So this is definitely going to be a bit more of a scout rush for the reason that you've got so many choppers. You're trying to balance, get the wood up so you can slap down some farms. Get some scouts out with some ville production as well. Now, the thing that I'm going to be interested in with Castigo is if they go all in, are we going to see another stable? Are we going to see some upgrades as well? Ooh, getting a few hits there. Pretty cheeky. Hooplah is 45 seconds on the way, but look at that idle TC time. That is rough. That can be such a big part of this game. It's just the idle TC time, especially around this elo, the 1200, 1100. I feel like getting up to the 1300s really is just about not having idle TC time. That's what I've heard. I'm not there yet. I'm an idle TC. Idled TC. I don't know. Alright, how do I get... Oops. How do I... Okay. Alright. There we go. That was annoying me. Alright, now we're going to have 3 scouts coming out from Castigo. He already has the other scout forward. Now, the hard part, we're waiting to mass up, though. Obviously, now we do have a spear, so it's going to be a little bit trickier now to try and counter. Although, it looks like in total... No, we've got the 5 military. Sorry, 4 military. Scout cavalry. So, another one coming over from somewhere. Just chilling here. Okay, so one of them is the original scout. Oh, there's a hole! Oof, okay. Well, the good thing is this one's separated, so you're not going to lose all the choppers. One does go down. That is in firing range of the town center, but not quite. Oh, it looks like we're going to get another one here. So that's 2 picks. That's actually huge. That's great value already for Castigo. So being able to punish the opponent for the overchop. I don't know even if it was overchop, because we see the stump. Looks like it was just short wall, unfortunately. Didn't get the berries, not milling over. Now, Castigo is going 5 scouts. Now, this is where we're going to see... No, okay. So I don't think we're going to go too aggressive with the scouts. I think we're just going to try and get a few veal picks. Trying to put on a little bit of pressure. And they already have. They've done a really great job. Look at this. Look at all the spears. So I do think Hoopla's probably imagining this is going to be an all-in here. I think Hoopla's quite concerned about how they're going to deal with it. Oh, but that is going to do a lot of damage. Are they going to take the engagement? No, you definitely run away. Good. I thought they were going to try and take the engagement on the hill. I don't think that was going to really work without any upgrades. We do have 6 scouts now, though. That's a fair amount of scouts from Castigo. But equally as much spear. 5 spear. Sorry, 7 spearmen. For Hoopla. And that idle TC time still just ticking. But now Castigo does have a little bit more themselves as well. But look at this. Look at the little mass. This is going to be a bit of a nightmare. Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, so we're going to... I thought we might see some knights come out later on, but we are not. So that's why we're not going to be seeing any upgrades come in for the scouts. Because we're probably going to see some cavalry archer. Obviously, Huns, some really good cavalry archers, and I'm pretty sure they get cheaper cavalry archer. Chat can confirm my belief. That'd be great. We are getting now a few archers as well from Hoopla, just no one on gold. See, it does feel like Hoopla's just a little bit rattled. That's a little bit worried. Just being thrown off their build just a little bit, having to deal with the scouts, especially in that woodline. Just thrown off their game slightly. Still in it completely. Had the great response of getting some spears out to defend. And that's plenty of spears. So you're going to be able to defend the gold, berries, forward. You're fine now. So this is where you take the breath and have a plan. And the plan at the moment for Hoopla is to get a few archers out. Hold the phone. We're going to see some archers as well from Castigo. So we're not even going to be following up with cavalry archer. We're just going straight archer. So this is going to be a strong feudal age. Are we going to see Fletching come in? Is here as well. And we do see the tower. Great response, fast response. I love it. No dilly-dallying around. It's like, no, I need the tower. I need it now. But the only thing they didn't slam down the palisades. We do have a bit of spear. Got our own archers as well. So I think we can deal with this quite effectively. Now, Castigo just needs to try and get out of there, but he's going to try and pick off the archers, which is probably the smart play. But without the upgrades and the tower full of... Well, no, there's no veals in there. I think they might have ungarrisoned, though. And Hoopla pushed that back perfectly. Very good response. Quick tower. So get the hell out of here. I don't want you here. What you doing? This is my house. Idle veal though, and let's look at the idle eco time. Is going to be higher from Hoopla. That idle TC time creeping up. But I wouldn't really say it's detrimental. It hasn't really badly hurt them. I would say, the moonwalking. This guy's style. Alright, and he's just going to keep pestering. And now the hard part though, you're sending all your spears in. Did take them off berries, sending all the spears in, and is also clicking up Castle Age for Castigo. Castigo now still remaining in the driver's seat, it feels like, with this pressure. Because the hard part of all those spears, like, you can't really take them on. Because the scouts are going to be able to run away. The archers are just going to be able to get microed. Unless they're just AFK like they are now, but still doesn't feel like a great trade. But the archers come in from Hoopla. Good timing. They really needed that. But those spears need to come over and help them out, which they do. So it feels like Hooplah is going to win this battle. They definitely are. Good fight there for Hooplah. But the hard part is, well, both players on the way to Castle Age. Just that idle TC time from Hooplah because of the offensive pressure from Castigo. So Castigo putting all that pressure. Now, we are going to get fletching. We're getting padded archer armor and we're getting bloodlines. So I'm pretty sure that's safe to say we're most definitely going to see some cavalry archers. Now, if I'm Hooplah, honestly, I do like that tower. I do really like it, especially because you know, look, cavalry archer's going to be coming out. That's going to be happening. He's trying to get more vills. KD is very even, but we've got 3 eco deaths for Hooplah. He's going to be taking out that massive archers as well, and the KD now in Hooplah's favor. I do like the stable. We're going double stable now for Hooplah. And I do think Camel is the correct play, even against Cavalry Archers, because the micro with Cavalry Archer against any stable unit isn't great. It's not great. They just take way too long to be able to fire rapidly, so you can't micro the same as you can with a Foot Archer. Foot Archer, it's a lot easier to micro, but I do feel like the Camel just does counter because it's also a mounted unit, and obviously Camel's counted cavalry unit / mounted units, so I do think that's a good play. You definitely need to go camels, especially as the Hindustanis. It's a must. You just got to make sure that you get the armor. That is going to be the most important. Just because you don't want that archer armor, or that arch damage. See, they've already +2 as well. So these are +2 cavalry archer. And going straight in, only with 3, wants to put on continual pressure with the cavalry archers. He's going to push back with the archers that are remaining. I do like it. You've still got them. Still use them. Push him back. Do a bit of damage. He's going to do a lot of damage, but still going to do some damage. Oh, and they're just so annoying. Getting those cheeky picks. Now, the hard part, even though Hooplah has the better KD, it's just those 4 Vil kills with the idle TC time is going to be what's hurting them at the moment. See the camels now back here. Looks like they might have cleaned up something. I might have missed something. I'm sorry if I did. I might need to zoom out a little bit more and then zoom in for engagements. So here we go. Now we do have bloodlines, so this would be a good time. Oh, just more picks. 5 Vil picks. Going to be 6. Oof. That hurts. That really does hurt. As Combat's just pointed out in chat, Castigo just needs to kind of have a few monks in here. Be able to put a bit of pressure on now for the camel counter. Combat is the monk man, and we have MC West with the sub. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate it greatly. First sub of the tourney. Thank you, MC West. Alrighty, back to the game, and there are the reinforcements, and we do now get +2 channel-binding armor. And oh, on the woodlines. Castigo definitely had a plan coming into this one. And I do love the hunts, especially on this. See, the hard part, tower just doesn't reach it. Just doesn't reach it. And now you can't make another one. You can't just keep making towers and towers and towers. Yes, I'm doing it for the towers, not for the ads, not for you. Mate, that's fair, that's fair. Oh, here we go. We do have an engagement. The camels now coming through, putting in enough pressure, force them back. There we go. And we are getting now decent numbers. And you do want husbandry. That is one big thing. If you want to be putting pressure on against cavalry archers, husbandry is going to be essential. Might have been a bit of a misclick here with the villager. He's going to come back, try and take some berries. Now we've only got 5 camels, but can still keep pushing them back. Here we go. And they're going to be meeting up now. Good engagement. And just picking them off now. So, it's a bit of a tick for tack here. It definitely feels like that was rather even. You can quickly see. So, now we are on Hooplah's line of sight. And that was really well done though from Castigo. So, Hooplah does know where Castigo is. and was able to push him back. Just doesn't really have the military numbers though. Maybe you want to add in... I do like the town center. I think that's smart. Just being able to have a little bit of protection. The only thing with that though, you might get a bit more idle eco time. And you can see from the idle TC and the eco time, it's definitely favoring Castigo at the moment. Castigo not really having much pressure on their side of the map. And this is where having that aggressive mindset can definitely come in handy on an aggressive map like this one. I'm about saying Castigo's playing out of his skin. Not even out of his mind, out of his skin. You're not even in your skin anymore. Damn. So this is going to be the hard part. So you will be able to protect the vills at the very least. But now they're just idle. You don't really have enough camels to be able to take this on. Oh, and that's the hard part. How many hits did those cavalry archers get on those camels before they even landed a hit? I do see some of the pros, and I haven't figured out how to do this myself. They get close enough and they press stop, so then they just automatically engage. That tends to be quite a common thing as well. Alright, now let's have a quick look at the vill count. 60 vills to 48 vills. So Castigo has also got the aggression lead. They've also got the vill lead. They've got the eco lead. We've got 2 town centers, one a bit more forward to take the gold. I like it. And on the wood line, amazing. I do like it. This is definitely Castigo's jam. I do like kind of walling this up. I think that's the way Hooplah operates best. Just not getting raided from side to side. Now, let's have a quick look in at the resources. So, Hooplah, I don't think really thinking about Imp at all yet. Castigo, it's probably on their mind. Just doesn't have the gold. We are seeing more production of cavalry archers, so I don't think they're really thinking about Imperial just yet. I think we're going to see just continual pressure on Hooplah. But if you're going to be doing that, maybe just send one cavalry archer, scout at the opponent. There's Crazy Joe if they're in if they're in chat. It's one thing Crazy Joe has taught me in his streams where he breaks down Age of Empires, is you want to know what your opponent's doing. Scout. You've got to know. You've got to have the information. How can you respond when you're not entirely sure what the opponent is doing? Doesn't know about the palisades, doesn't know about most of the buildings though. So, has done obviously enough aggression where they know what position Hooplah's in. But just to be annoying, take them off gold. Taking them off the wall. Just to be pestering. Don't let them be comfortable. If you're going to be aggressive, get in there. Get it done. Put on the pressure. But I already think that there's enough here. Yeah, 29 CE versus 8. Now 8 camels. It's just not enough camels to take this fight. We do have ballistics. Yeah, we do. We do have ballistics in as well for Castigo. So these are some deadly cavalry archers. Oof. And here we go. Castigo now just coming in full throttle. I don't even think they're really thinking about Imp, to be honest. I just think they're just in the driver's seat. They want to keep going. They're just going to keep picking on vills. And see, the KD isn't even that huge, but the huge one is the 12 vills. Now that's what's hurting Hooplah. Oh, hold on. Was getting a bit of tower fire, but the TC is still doing a lot of work here. The camels also, but they're also bottlenecks. I don't know. But now they're out of range. Has picked off the whole army by the look of it. Oh, that's tough. There's just so many CA there. We weren't getting the whole lot either with the TC. We are going to see some siege now. I do think that is a good play. Maybe adding it a little bit sooner could have helped, especially in that engagement. Imagine right then if 1-0 bunched up, just had 1 or 2 scorps, just putting on those hits. That would have been huge. That definitely would have been huge. And the forward siege workshop, and you know what that means. Alright, looks like we're getting more on gold. I think now they're definitely thinking about Imp, but to be honest, it's probably more just, I've got that much CA, I'm going to continue production, and then when I get the res, yeah, and then I'll click up. Going to take another engagement here. But again, just too many CA. Too many CA to deal with. And GG is called from Hooplah. And we have game number 3 on the way. It is 1-1 now from these players. Huge game 2. Huge game 2. Complete opposite to what we saw before. Complete opposite, it feels like. So in the previous game, in game 1, a very more defensive game, and you could see that's where Hooplah really thrived in. But that was the neutral map. So game 3, there is double arena. And you know what? Hooplah did pick that as well, and it got selected in the lottery. So I have a feeling we're going to see double arena. Now, I actually might need to download that mod. I just realized, the Mad Map mod, but we'll see. But I'm feeling like that's what it's going to be. So it's 1-1, and then game 2, we had obviously Land Madness, where that was just pure aggression from the start. Really good game from Castigo, went in with the plan. Unfortunately with Hooplah at the start, the idle TC time definitely did hurt, so then therefore also was up to Feudal a little bit later. Did well trying to push them back. The 2 towers though, I did like. Maybe just a little bit more aggression. Took some really good fights though, that's the thing, right? I'm actually getting a call at the door. I think that's a delivery. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to leave the suspense for you all. Well, it won't be that long. Okay, I'm back. Alrighty. MCUS is heading off to work. No problem at all. Thank you so much for the sub, mate. It was great having you in chat. What else is everyone saying? The choke point, definitely. That was hard. House needed to be deleted. Ah, true. So that's the hard part in that engagement, I suppose, when we saw it. Not in capture age. Oh, hold on. Yeah, if Hooplah deleted that house, that definitely could have given a bit more of a swarm as well. You wouldn't obviously want to delete the stable, that's where your freaking camels are coming from, but yeah, definitely could have given you a bit more of a surround. So definitely could have been a different fight there. But early on in the game, definitely think that Hooplah did well with the fighting. Took some really good and smart engagements. It was just getting up to castle that bit quicker. The cavalry archers were just so good on this map. So I think it was a really good civ to pick for this one. It was the Huns from Castigo. I do like Hindustanis here, I suppose, as well. Oh, I don't know. What else did Hooplah have? Let's have a look. Let's pull this up. Alright. So we had a win with Byzantines, lost Mongols, but then for the second picks, Castigo going 1 and 2 picks. That's so good. Alrighty, and then we had Hindustanis with the loss, but what else did we have? Spanish? No, not really. Portuguese? No. Poles? No. Turks? No. Italians? No. Look, I don't know if it's just me, but it definitely seems as though Hooplah will favourite certain type of civilizations that might be a little bit better on closed maps. Castigo, I definitely think Huns were the play there. That was a great call. I mean, you could go Saracens maybe Vikings and Foot Archer, but I just think the Cavalry Archer on that map, it's so frustrating to deal with. It's a really hard one to be able to kind of counter properly. I think the Hindustanis were probably the play there actually from Hooplah, really, considering all the civs that they do have, so I probably would have gone the same. Good game. Very good game. Game 3. Let's go. Alrighty. Pull this back up. Huns have the composition to deal with Hindustanis and Gujaras really well. They do. Talk us through that combat, because you are the Huns man. But they don't do terribly. I find that camels do a lot better than what people give credit for. However, I do think that's a good point that you do have with all you need to do is add monks. Then it can always go Cavalier Haub, Paladin Haub. With the Huns. Cavalier Haub, Paladin Haub. Right. Oof, yeah. I definitely think that Huns are a good civ against Hindu. You are quite right. And the hard part with this type of map, because I mean, you could go something like, what's the unique unit? Oh, come on, Gulam. You could go Gulam, but you just don't have the time. Not in this map. Unless you've got the early aggression to get a castle. I mean, Castigo didn't even build a castle. Anyway. I don't think it's really a castling map. Although I turned it into a castling map a while ago in Kings League. That was a brutal game. Had Franks, so it was cheap castles. You gotta build castles if you're Franks. Alright, let's go game 3. Alrighty. Now, it is double arena. Let me quickly check. Might need to download the map as well. Unless I already still do have it, because I did have it once upon a time. No, we've got it. We're good. We're very good. We're excellent. We're gravy. Alrighty. Game 3 of the best of 3. Round 1 of David vs. Goliath. Let's get into it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. And as we did call it, we do have double arena. Now, I don't know if Castigo knows, but this is Hooplah's jam. In the Sun Tzu Cup, this was one of Hooplah's picks, or most common picks as well. So, if you don't know, essentially Double Arena is a mod, or it's a custom map in the Mad Random Maps, I believe, if you want to download it and check it out for yourself, where you start with 2 town centers and a monument and double the walls. Essentially, just think arena squared almost. So the monument is going to trickle in some resources, but at the same time, you're going to have constant production out of 2 TCs if you do it well. So this is definitely a map that you kind of got to practice on, to be honest, because if you don't, and your opponent has, and they pick it, you could be in a lot of trouble here. But it's definitely still that arena style gameplay. Don't get me wrong. It's still going to feel very, very similar to arena. Hearing some deleted walls. That must be from over here. Yep. Hooplah knowing the procedure instantly. And once they've confirmed that, okay, yep, that's closed off. Let's delete some walls. Open up the space. Getting some good fills out. Good amount, sorry. Both players doing quite well at the start. I reckon Castigo's definitely done his homework. What I don't know if Castigo knows, though, is if you can check the games on Mango's YouTube channel. It's a cheeky plug there, everyone. If you didn't watch Sun Tzu, the games are on there. And this map is also on there. Watch a few of the games to see how the competitors played, if you want a few tips. Well, those of you that are in the chat that are participants, definitely check out those games. If you haven't played this map already, at the very least, watch those games. Alrighty, so you're going to feel that this is a lot quicker though than a regular arena game because of the amount of villas that you can produce from the start. Now, what I haven't done though is introduce the civilizations. Hooplah going Italians and Castigo going Bohemians. Oof. 2 really good arena civilizations. Therefore, you can make the conclusion that, well, they have to be good on double arena then, right? Alright, so I reckon we're going to see a bit of a film. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense We do have the ball there, so you're going to have to delete a wall. Now, that's not huge on double arena if you delete a wall to lure the ball, because you can just re-wall. Deer on the outside on both sides, from both players. Hooplah doesn't have the ball in the middle, though. Again, not detrimental. That's how you respond to it. He's going to mill some deer as well. We have 6 on wood from Hooplah, 10 on wood from Castigo. We're going to see the TC. Yep. Very well done. The 6 fields. Hooplah knows the drill. They have practiced that. They've put on the hours. You can see some farms coming out. Now let's have a look. 30. See, already, I swear I just blinked and it was like 18 vills. So 33 apiece. Idle TC time, very similar. Hooplah, maybe a little bit more idle eco time. But let's kind of get a bigger picture of what's happening here. We've got 2 mills, 2 lots of berries. Now, the only thing with this generation, you can see, it's right on the berries here for Hooplah. It does change up every time. Completely random. So what are we going to see from these players though? We're going to see a lot of farms from Castigo. Surely we see a Fimp. I feel like he can't Fimp. See the feudal age click up. From both players. And both on the same number of vills. This is really interesting. I wonder if that just happened. Now, I wonder if this is going to be enough, though. When we click up, castle, it's going to be enough gold already. So you don't even need to go on gold. The monument is actually going to generate enough resources. It's going to be enough resources for you to click up. The Hooplah is already on gold. 7 vills on gold. We're going to see an instant click up. We are. But that looks way too clean. I feel like this is a bit of a build order. Hooplah doing really well here. A lot more farms though. Has taken both berries. Deleted the walls over here. Bit more room over here for Castigo as well. That's always nice. It's always good to have a bit of extra room. Ooh. Cheeky. Not today, says Hooplah. Both players now in feudal age. Ooh, Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, Raiders. We are on double arena. Round 1 of the Sun Tzu Cup. This is game 3 of Hooplah vs Castigo on double arena. This is Hooplah's pick as well. So round 1 of David vs Goliath. The handicap tourney that we are hosting. This is the first game actually as well. So we have another one after this. Another matchup, another show match, sorry. But this is game 3, so this is crunch time. This is do or die. Going to come forward to collect the deer. Getting the eco upgrades now as well. Hasn't clicked up, does have the res. They have the buildings. Got the market. Oof. Just a bit delayed because we didn't get the blacksmith down. Hope you had a good stream, Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Again, thank you so much for the raid. The vill count, so similar. Ooh, getting housed though. And scramble to slap that house down. Castle age on the way. Hooplah though has a really nice lead, 1.5 minutes. You can definitely see that Hooplah has put in a lot of time on this map. Put in thought. They know what they're doing. Closed maps is where they operate best. But we definitely can't discount Castigo, especially with the Bohemians. I'm excited to see what they can do here. So for those of you that just joined us from Fluffy's stream, we've got the handicap opposed, actually 0. Obviously both players' elos are just so close together. So very close. Getting some good scouting in. Now let's see. Obviously both players are going to know where each other are, but you're not going to really be able to see much, or if anything. You can see a lumber camp there. You see that? Okay, it ends there. If your plan was to cut, then you know that. See some houses, but that's about it. Nothing crazy. Oof. That is a good click up. Now the hard part, it's just not enough gold for Castigo though. Could sell some food to get up. He's going to get to castle age. He's going to have to build a building super smart because Hooplah already is on the way to imp. That's huge. Before Castigo's even gotten to castle, has clicked imp. Getting the eco upgrades now, or at least getting horse collar rather. Getting loom as well. Let's have a look at the Vil count. We've got 60 to 61, a little bit more for Hooplah, staying on 2 TCs. And the Vils are coming forward. Mr. Fluffy Bunny. It's Nightmare double arena. Arena times arena. He's getting the wobblies just thinking about it. And we have the Ford Castle. Now, Castigo not having anyone on stone. I don't really know if they're going to be able to slap down the castle in time. They're just relying on the monument. Stone is going to be the slowest thing to generate over time. And that's not even hidden. Hooplah is just like, I am putting... Ooh, a spear coming through. Hooplah just pretty much saying, yeah, I'm on your doorstep. It's going to be amazing timing though. This is really have been planned out from Hooplah. And now the monk coming out is going to do enough to kind of deter them. But it's already halfway. Castigo, look at that micro. Look at him. Look at it go. Look at him go. Look at him go. Get off, get off, get off. I just don't know. It's just not quite enough. If you had some more military, that would be good. Hooplah's just going to be right-clicking this for days. This is a great micro, though, from Castigo. And there is Imp. So it's not the perfect castle click-up, but it's just enough, I feel. And here we go, some more scouts coming through. But it's just too late. 98, 99, 100. Oh, so close. That was actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, to be honest. Alright, now, Imperial Age. Does have the res, just needs the buildings. Was able to get enough villages on gold in the meantime. Needs to get to Imperial though. Getting chemistry and Genoese crossbow. Interesting play. Interesting play, I feel. On their stone, taking the opponent's stone as well. Ah, Castigo, I don't know if they saw the ball there. Hidden away. Hidden away. And the siege workshop. With the Treb, just a couple. I think at this point, honestly, you definitely just go Trebs, especially while you've got the cover of the castle as well. Now, Castigo with Bohemians obviously get amazing bombards that turn into hoofbeats. Good cavalry too, on memory, but the monks are what you want. Wait, is it good cavalry with Bohemians? I need to look at the tech tree. Getting Treb through, he's going to war back. It's not. What am I thinking of, Hooplah? And that pressure. Oh, it's archers with, they have better helps. That's right. They do get real good helps. Look at that on both gates. That's just cheeky. That's just pure cheekiness. I do like that Castigo's like, alright, I'll just build some gates over here though. So, that's the thing. It's not, it's just more cheekiness, I feel. Makes it slightly annoying, but it's not detrimental by any means. And now the bombards coming through as well. This feels like a bit of a repeat of game 1. Just those castles right in the face, and the Trebs coming through doing some work. Wait, is this the imp TC? No, okay. Woo. That would have been sweaty. Alright, 83 viewers to 81, so it's kind of similar. Idle TC time, a lot higher though for Castigo. Did they add more TCs? They added the extra TC, whereas Hooplah just had the one. Actually, sorry, they added an extra 2 TCs as well. So they may have almost overboomed here. Hooplah just going straight to imp and then going all in aggressive as soon as they hit Imperial with no boom. And I really feel like that is going to be super important in this game. This hasn't spent the res. That's true, pointed out by Fluffy. Has so much res that he's floating. They could definitely use here. It's finally getting the castle down. 2,000 wood. And if there's one thing I've learnt from watching Survivalist is spend wood. Spend your wood. Try to expand the economy. Try to expand production buildings. Do something to just have more. Because the hard part, even with this castle, there's going to get trebbed and bombarded down. You've got Genoese crossbow. There's a lot happening. Just don't think they've got enough stone to be able to really save this castle. But just with the amount of trebs and bombards. Oof. As combat points out. We're into the condos. Where are the condos? Bring in the condos. 75 viewers and dropping. Going to go Haub. Oof. I'm not sure about Haub when you've got Genoese crossbow out though. I think at this point, they're just trying to get something. Do you like the mango? It needs to be an onager though. And there's a lot going on. Oof, and gets sniped though by the bombard. Hooplah spotting it. See what Hooplah can see here. They could see that mango quite easily. Pushing straight into Castigo's base. And the hard part I feel with this map is just trying to stop Hooplah on this map. He is so strong. Has a plan, has played it before, has got the experience on this. So I think it's to send a message to anyone else that's going to verse Hooplah in this tournament is to watch out for double arena. You're gonna have to practice it. There's no ifs or buts about it. If you're up against Hooplah, you're gonna have to practice double arena. 62 views, 103 views. Yeah, kind of expanding out here though. Seeing a lot of barracks. And he's just gonna give it a crack. I love it. Not giving in. Having the fight. It ain't over till it's over. But with all these deaths, it's hard. It's gonna be hard to bring this back. Oh, and the extra castle. And try and stonewall that. Actually, that would have been alright a little bit beforehand. It's a little bit too late now, though. And even in saying that, even if you stonewall, these bombards will still be here. GG, well played, called by Castigo, and I have to agree with Castigo. That was very, very, very well played there by Hooplah. Fantastic job, Hooplah. Well deserved. Takes out the first show match of David vs. Goliath. Let me click the right one. So there you have it. Still went to best of 3. Huge, 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 huge. Alright, so just to wrap up that best of 3 there, we had Highlands in game 1. Hooplah is applying some good, I suppose, steady pressure from Castle into Imperial and just being able to slowly push forward by controlling the middle. Having the fish as well, really important on that game. Game 2, Castigo, masterpiece game with Huns on Land Madness. That early aggression, fantastic. Hooplah, just so strong on double arena. Knows the plan. So that's where you've got to ask, I suppose. The ban was with Ethiopians by Castigo. But the hard part is, there's a lot of arena civs here. that Hooplah could have gone. Even Turks on this map. Not going to be as strong with Jannies anymore, but I mean, getting to Imperial and not having to research chemistry, that's still going to be so strong. So well done, Hooplah, taking out the first game, and they advance through to the next round, the semi-final. Alright, and what did we just have? We had Bohemians. And we can see Castigo going 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that was planned at all. That's how it worked out. First pick on game 1, second pick game 2, third pick game 3. Well done to both players. Really well done. Alrighty. Alright, and there we have it. So in that game, the final game, I just think we saw the plan of Hooplah there and the smoothness. And it was still really smooth for Castigo. I think they definitely still practiced it. It was just getting to castle. It felt not as clean. But in saying that, it was just really well played by Hooplah. They were just there very quickly, and it was quick aggression too. That's the hard part. Having that aggression, but going all in. Only having the 2 town centers. Castigo had the 4. And as Mr. Fluffy Bunny pointed out in chat, floating a lot of res. Still, by the end of the game, having 1800 gold. So, I just don't think they were expecting that aggression. So that's why the stockpile went up so quickly. So really well played by Hooplah. I think had an idea, strategy going in. But that's the thing, it was so close. If you deny that first castle, had a monk out, had some scouts, if you had a couple more scouts, that first castle doesn't go up. Hooplah's in all sorts there. Could have been a different game. That one moment. Really well done though. Really well done. So close. There's always moments in Age of Empires, right, where if this one moment, this one thing had changed, the whole game would be different. But Hooplah had the plan, executed a plan, got the W. Alright. Let's move on to the next game. So this is the bracket for those of you at home. We can see it on stream. Yes, we can. Hooplah will advance to this slot here. So Hooplah moving on. So we are actually playing the next game. So we'll know who Hooplah's opponent is. It will either be MC West or C7921. Okay. Too many things open. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 1 second. Well done, Castigo. Really good game, mate. Played well. Played very well. Come through here. We're going to stop the